सही करे, मैं तो कह रहा हूँ डन कर लेते हैं।
बढ़िया करे यार।
पार्टी करेंगे, पार्टी।
हेलो बेटा, तुम लोग यहाँ शिफ्ट हो रहे हो?
मोस्टली आंटी।
सही है। मेरे हस्बैंड है ना, तो इनके कुछ दवाइयाँ चाहिए, वो आप ले आओ। प्रेस्क्रिप्शन। हाँ। कितनी अच्छी बात है, तुम जैसे यंगस्टर्स इस बिल्डिंग में आ रहे हैं। पैसे तो लो। अच्छा, मैं क्या कह रही थी, जब आप मार्केट जा ही रहे हो तो मुरारी की दुकान से एक डबल रोटी और थोड़े अमरूद ले आना, बहुत अमरूद खाते हैं।
अच्छा अमरूद।
अच्छा सुनो, बच्चे जा रहे हैं, तुम्हें कुछ चाहिए? यही लेके आना बेटा।
आंटी जी एक मिनट। पार्टी नहीं, ड्यूटी लगेगी। Housing.com।
Housing.com with maximum owner properties. Housing.com पर से perfect. Download now.
आते हैं आंटी लेके, हाँ सामान आपका।
दूध ले आते हैं हम। ठीक है,
चलो फुटले।
Hello everyone. Namaskar, Salaam, Sat Sri Akal, Vanakkam. We are back with a fresh episode of Keeping It Real by Housing.com. This is India's first real estate focused podcast. It brings to you updates, views, and insights about the realty sector, an explainer on a chosen subject, and a deep dive on an industry trend or topic. You can catch the episode on Housing.com, on the Housing.com app, on earshot.in, Spotify.com, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Ghana.com, and JioSaavn. If you missed the episode, don't worry, we have you covered. Wear your headphones or put on the phone speaker. You can listen to this while driving, eating, cooking, jogging, running, walking, chopping vegetables, or basically doing anything else, whenever you want, wherever you are. 6 years of RERA. Court crackdown on builders for handing over properties without completion certificates. Tokenization of houses through NFTs. And beware of online property frauds through QR codes. Nearly 50% homebuyers can expect a price rise in the coming months. Details of all these and much more in this episode. Stay tuned. It's been 6 years since the government enacted the Real Estate Regulation and Development Act of 2016. Building trust has been one of the most difficult challenges for India's real estate industry to surmount. Hiding in the haze of a massive construction boom are grumbling voices of millions of consumers about opaqueness in transactions and incomplete project disclosures. The right of choice, depending on individual requirements, should lie with the buyer. It is only fair that the disclosure by the promoter of the number of apartments for sale has to be based on carpet area, and carpet area has been defined. The buyer should know what he is actually getting and paying for. This standardization is absolutely critical to reduce the asymmetry prevailing in real estate transactions. The Real Estate Regulation and Development Act, which was legislated in 2016, sought to do precisely that. The Act makes it mandatory for builders developing a project exceeding 1,000 square meter to register with the proposed Real Estate Regulatory Authority before launching or even advertising a housing scheme. One of the provisions of the law is the mandatory registration of real estate agents with clear responsibilities and functions. The punitive provisions include deregistration of the project. If the builder defaults on promises made at the time of the launch, the buyer can approach consumer forums in case of disputes with real estate developers. 6 years after it was enacted, a few challenges as well as opportunities are there in the RERA system. For instance, although RERA requires developers to give homebuyers possession on time, developers complain that there is no mechanism in place to ensure timely approvals from local government or sanctioning authorities. That is single window mechanism. Another challenge which digital real estate listings platforms are facing with some state RERA bodies, wherein listing firms are being asked to categorize under brokerage firms. Although the final decision is yet to come as the matter is under discussion. Another big concern is that the lengthy complaint resolution timelines are leading to high consumer and developer dissatisfaction. There is an urgent need for a single window clearance procedure for RERA registered projects. There is also a need to streamline the RERA registration process and timelines across states, improve portal functionality and user friendliness, and reduce complaint resolution timelines and enforcement delays. All these measures, if implemented, can lead to more robust and successful RERA Act. Vikas Wadhwan, Housing Group Chief Financial Officer, said,
The 6 years journey of RERA, if we reflect back and look at it, it has been a whirlwind period during which the sector has undergone massive restructuring in terms of legal compliances and transparency in the way the industry stakeholders were operating in the market. To a great extent, this buyer-centric law has improved India's housing market, providing access to valuable information and also timely resolution of the issues. That said, buyer confidence is something the sector must consistently work upon, because this is something which will continue to boost the industry, and the health of the sector is largely driven by the buyer's confidence, which is on the back of accountability and transparency. In that sense, the law will remain or continue to remain a work in progress and might require changes to make itself future-proof.
Often wondered why houses are handed over even before authorities had given out the project completion certificates? This leads to delays in registrations and other approvals for the home buyers. Well, that could change if a recent Madras High Court order serves as a precedent. The Madras High Court has directed the Greater Chennai Corporation and the Chennai Metropolitan Development Authority, that is the CMDA, to obtain an undertaking from builders that possession of the building will be handed over to the buyers only after receiving the completion certificate from the authorities concerned. A division bench of Justices R. Mahadevan and Mohammad Shafiq said, quote, "Before issuing the building planning permission, an undertaking be obtained from the builder or applicant, as the case may be, to the effect that possession of the building will be entrusted and or handed over to the owners or beneficiaries only after obtaining completion certificate from the authorities concerned." Unquote. The bench was disposing of a writ petition from M. Rahamathunisa and 8 others, owners of the flats constructed by New Venus Developers Private Limited, challenging a deoccupation notice issued in December 2021 by the corporation. Apparently moved by the plight of the petitioners, who had invested huge hard-earned money for the purchase of the flats, and that they were being victimized for no fault of theirs, the judges gave the directions to curtail recurrence of any such incidents in the future. The bench also said that the banks or financial institutions shall sanction loan to the buildings only after production of the completion certificate by the parties concerned. NFTs for houses? Tokenization of property? Indeed, it's happening. Here in India too, House of Hiranandani has announced its foray into the non-fungible token segment, becoming the first real estate developer in the country to jump on the NFT and Web3 bandwagon. The brand's maiden NFT series titled Dreamverse – Engineering Your Dreams is a limited edition of bespoke NFTs that enable NFT owners to gain access to exclusive design consultation with some of India's leading design and staging experts who work with House of Hiranandani. The NFT collection has been launched with an aim to pay an ode to engineers and architects who have helped to create the unparalleled urban landscapes of the House of Hiranandani. The real estate company will also provide home furnishing vouchers as an encouragement to begin designing one's ideal residence. The collection can be found on CoinArt's platform, an NFT platform for brands and creators, and is partnered with Polygon, a globally leading platform for Ethereum scaling and infrastructure development. In May 2022, global NFT sales stood at more than $3 billion, and India stands strong as one of the top 5 most active countries in the NFT segment, with over 1.50 million NFT users in the country. Web3 and Metaverse offer enormous potential to address important real estate concerns, and the industry is likely to see massive innovation in the usage of emerging technologies to fuel growth in the space. During the festive season, the demand for houses has increased, and as the demand for houses increases, it is expected that 48% of home buyers can expect a rise in prices in the coming months during the festive season. Housing.com and National Real Estate Development Council, also known as NREDCO, conducted a joint survey with over 1,000 participants to gauge consumer sentiment. And the findings of this survey suggested that about 48% of home buyers can expect the price rise. The survey suggests that home buyers are cautious yet optimistic about the economic scenario for the coming months. It said that 73% of home buyers feel that the economy would continue to stay on its growth trajectory in the coming months. The survey further states that 47% of home buyers prefer to invest in real estate. This is the highest compared to other asset classes such as stocks, gold, and fixed deposit. Here is what Ankita Sood, head of research Housing.com, PropTiger.com, and Makaan.com has to say about the trends.
The market has seen a sharp revival in demand, especially after the second wave of the pandemic. Though rising cost of borrowing, increase in input costs, and a strong demand base has resulted in the rise in housing prices over the past 4 to 5 quarters, we expect demand momentum to remain strong in the current quarter on the back of strong consumer sentiments and the seasonal uplift in demand during the festive season. As also reflected in our research findings, the consumer is confident of its future earnings, and coupled with that, the pandemic-induced importance of home ownership are key factors that will continue to drive residential sales not only in the top metros but also in the Tier 2 cities. We see the impending festive season further bolstering consumer sentiments, with the home buyers intensifying their search activity during this period, which we believe will form a very strong base for property demand in the ensuing quarters.
Manish from Pune was looking to sell his property and got the property listed on an online portal. A week later, he received a call from an army officer expressing his urgency to find a home quickly for his family and also offering to pay the entire amount. Manish was asked to scan a QR code to enable this payment. He did as asked, and the next thing he knew, his account was debited with a sizable amount. Fraudsters use various methods to dupe people. The most common is sending a QR code. Cybercriminals trick people into scanning fake QR codes. Once a code is scanned, money gets instantly debited from the victim's account. Sellers must be aware that QR codes are not meant for receiving money. Scanning these QR codes may lead to quick withdrawal of funds from a seller's accounts instead of getting credited to the account. Property buyers, sellers, prospective tenants, or property owners must be cautious when using online property listing portals and safeguard themselves against frauds. There have been many incidents of fraudsters duping people of large sums of money by posing as tenants or buyers. Many property buyers have also become the target of fraudsters who reach out to them, posing as property sellers or brokers. Fraudsters share their fake IDs, proof of employment, and other such information, and may even persuade their victims to remove the listing from the portal or mark it as sold or booked. Fraudsters often attempt to build trust and convince you to get into transactions faster. Buyers need to be alert when dealing with sellers online. There have been cases where fraudsters have cheated prospective home buyers or tenants by asking them to pay a token amount for booking flats before visiting the property, while promising attractive discounts. So what do you do if you get scammed? First and foremost, report the fraud. If you have become a victim of a scam, immediately report the fraud at the nearest police station, along with supporting documents. Always keep relevant data handy, including screenshots, call recordings, chat histories, proof of payments, etc. Approach the cyber cell for redressal. Call on the cyber fraud toll-free helpline number 1930, introduced by the Ministry of Home Affairs, Government of India. You can also report the fraud on the National Cybercrime Reporting Portal at www.cybercrime.gov.in. Notify the bank. If you have made an online transaction and the money has been debited from your account, notify your bank immediately. Get the UPI blocked. Safeguard your identity. If you have unknowingly disclosed payment information to fraudsters, take the necessary steps to block access to your accounts. That's it from us for this episode. We shall be back again with a fresh episode of Keeping It Real by Housing.com with information and insights on the real estate industry. Take care and stay safe.